Okay, it's time for today's CSS Battle. Let's see what we've got. Okay. Well, let's start by let's use a nested template. So let's set the background of the main body to of HTML to that, and then we'll set the background of this temporarily to this yellow. It won't stay that way. From the top is probably about 20. From the sides it looks like 120. Oh no, 120 is far too much, but 20 is correct. It might just be 110. Okay, cool. Now then, we want yellow dots. So let's focus on a radial gradient first. How wide is that? 110, 160, so 25 pixel radius. And then transparent. 1Q so that we get a circle. And we put it 1Q at 25 pixels. 25 pixels. That gets us right up into the top. That's beautiful. Now, how wide is the entire thing? So 110, 240, 130. So we do 0, 230 pixels. Maybe 180. No? 230 pixels. Oh no, hang on, 110. 240. So 130 would be a much better number. Oh, that's good. And then to the bottom we're going to go 70 to 280 is 110 minus 20. Let's try 95 pixels. Nope. 105. 105 gets us very close. But it's actually twice that, so 210. 210 will get us that, so that's actually quite good. Then we do a could we do a conic gradient with an let's do a conic gradient. We can do two conic gradients in fact, but let's do the first one first. Let's make it transparent for 25% and then yellow for the rest. pixels. Oh no, 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 no. Not 0. 50 pixels. Not 25. Where do we want it to be? There. So that's 1, might be 120, might be 125. Who knows? But let's assume it's 20 and 120, so 100 pixels down. One, 120, no, 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 90, 100, 105, okay, cool. We're going to need to shift it down. Could we do this slightly differently, thinking about it? Let's make it 0 from the left, 25 pixels from the top. Makes it all horrible. Okay, let's actually get rid of the radial gradient for now, because we'll do that in a different way in a minute. So let's do 0, 0, and then 130 pixels will get us those. Then we don't want this whole bottom bit, so what's the height going to be? 20, 175, 25, 175, 150 maybe? 155. Okay, 155 gets us a H. Now that may well be better for what we're going to do. Yeah, that may well be better for what we're going to do. Let's now get rid of the left leg of the H, which means we want a conic gradient, 50 pixels, then down here 155. We want it to be transparent for 25%. Blue 50%, and then transparent. Okay, where is that? Why has that not done what I thought it should do? Oh, that's over there. Let's put a couple of stops in so that we can, well, a stop in so that we can see. I've got it exactly backwards. So that's a bit of a problem. So let's try. Right, where am I going? I'm going 50 across 155. So that'll be that corner we've done transparent. We've then done this corner. We don't want that. We actually want this to be 50%. then that to be 75%. Okay, we've now got a 4. 4 is good. Now do a radial gradient. Actually, let's take that out of there. We'll put a radial gradient here. Do transparent as a 25 pixel radius, and then the blue put a comma in. See, that will give us that, just that dot, but we don't actually want to do that. We want this to be at 25 pixels, 100%, which will put it down the bottom, cut off top of it in theory. So then we want to move it 0 that way and minus 150 pixels, no more than that. That might be 230. 230 pixels will give me not quite what I want, 235. Okay, then we do it as 130 pixels wide. That gives us both the top ones, but we unfortunately have that blue everywhere, and that's not really what we want. Can't easily. Is there a better way of doing that? There's got to be a better way of doing that. Okay, let's not actually use the conic gradient other than that one that covers up the bottom. Let's go back and put the radial gradients back in. Now, which one was the bottom one? I think that one is the one that takes stuff out. So we'll change this to a linear gradient, 90 degrees, make it yellow for 50 pixels, and then transparent for, well, actually we don't need to do anything else on that. We move it 0 and 25 pixels from the top. We make it 130 pixels wide and 200 pixels high. That's fairly damn close. And we make it just repeat in the X direction. 10 pixels? 210 pixels. Okay, that is looking much better. And then we can just use another linear gradient of transparent for 105 pixels, and then the yellow for well, it's going to be 50 pixels, so 155 pixels, and then transparent. Ooh, let's remember to put the color stop in there. That should be an exact match. Let's see. That certainly works. I can't see a neater way of doing it right now. So we'll minify, we'll submit, and we'll call that a day if we can change some of the values, but 155, 120 and 35 isn't divisible by 3, so that's not going to come out. That's not going to come out. That's not going to come out. 210 would, but we don't use it often enough to really care about. So no, we'll leave it there. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.